Welcome back, everybody, to BYT. I am on the bus. I'm going to try to do a simple layout. Get a visualization of the back wall. I really can't do nothing right now as far as sealing it. We are in a heavy rain pattern. I do have water inside the bus. So I'm going to do the best I can and try to get a simple layout of the back wall and maybe some other things that are going to be in here. Stick with me and I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so here's what I got. I got these two pieces of channel just to kind of give me an idea of where this back wall is going to be, which is going to be somewhere right along here and down and back up. Then of course, you know, we'll have a door in the middle. Shows you what kind of angle I'm on. Everything just kind of, anything on wheels just takes off running. But I measured that out there on the trailer, the back deck. So from this wall out to the end right now, I have 5'7". The deck is another 4 foot. That's going to give me almost a 10-foot deck on the back of this bus. So I'm going to have to figure out how far I'm going to have to extend the frame, whether I got materials here or not to do that, or whether I'm going to have to purchase materials to do that. That's still going to be decided. But for now, I figured with the bad weather and all the rain, you can see my trench out here where my drain tiles are going to be. It's channeling a ton of water right now. So I am trying to stay dry. You can see all the water inside. And until this rain goes away, I can wash the bus, seal the windows. I still have to decide which windows I'm keeping, which ones I'm taking out. Take out the ones I am taking out, and then seal them in. So waterproofing, because I noticed this morning, oh, let me get up here. I have a nice, it's a good drip right there, coming from that spot right there. I believe it's channeling over from here to there. You can almost see the water line. I really don't want to pull down these internal panels. I may end up having to. I don't want to. That's a hell of a chore. I'm hoping I can just get on the roof, and like I said, there was a strobe light pretty much right in this area, and you see I can cause it to drip even more when I do that. So I'm hoping the leak is right there where the strobe light was. Out there, I have 3 metal trusses. I believe I can take those parts, take them apart, and use the internal pieces and structures of that to build my interior wall, exterior wall, the back wall where the door is going to be between the inside of the bus living compartment and the garage area. So I will see you in a minute. Just to give you some idea, I ran these across the floor, and what my thoughts are, I have this small piece here. We've got a seam here, got another seam back here. Where this wall is going to be, I'm going to cut out a small strip on this side of the wall, so any water that comes in will get channeled into this basic floor drain and channel all the water outside. And if I want to put in a shower head in the garage area, I can actually have an external shower or we'll wash the motorcycles or whatever I need, rinse off from being in salt water or what, you know, anything of that nature, and it will just go onto the floor and drain outside. You know, where does rainwater go anyways? It drains off of the vehicles outside. So that is my thought. And this is where I need to find out and get kind of an idea of where I'm heading with this. But if I step back here, if you look, that would be the interior-exterior wall separating the living compartment from the garage. It gives me quite a bit of space. You know, I got over there where that stuff is at. I can, you know, put up the kitchen cabinets and the stove, the sink, water tank, all on. And I want to keep all my plumbing to one side. I would like to do the same with my electrical, but I'll have to wait and see how that's going to work out. We'll see in a minute when I come up with the next thing. Alright, I was able to gather most of my material off of that one truss. This goes from there all the way to the door. All these little steel beams. And this is only off one half of the truss. The bottom portion of it's still outside. The other top portion of the truss is still there. And then I have two more in that pile. I do believe it's going to work great. I can have a steel reinforced wall here in the center made out of these old metal trusses I kept. So I am soaked from the back of my neck to my armpits from being outside in the rain. So I may take a few measurements, make a couple cuts, not really sure, not 100%. May go in and put on a dry jacket and come back out. I got the heater running in here, which with it being 54 degrees, I believe it is today, which does not feel like that with the rain. I'm going to see what I can do. I do believe I'm going to go in and get dry, come back out, and then try to cut some stuff. See you in a minute. You've always heard that phrase, blood, sweat, and tears. Well, so far I got the blood covered. You know, little blood sacrifice for the old schoolie build. Raining outside, washing all the negative energies away. So I think this is going to turn out to be a good thing. And it was raining when I brought this home. And from my experience, every time I brought something home in the rain, it's turned out to be a pretty good thing. See you in a minute. One thing I love about automotive is you can count on things being fairly precise when it comes to why things are put in the way they're put in. And I got a good example right here. As I was measuring, trying to find center, I counted 44 rivets on this side. Right there, 44. And if you come from this side and you count up, you end up with 44 rivets. And I can almost guarantee from that last rivet down and from that last rivet down are going to be the same distance. So there's a fairly easy way to try to find center of where you want to be. See you in a minute. Another thing I noticed with the square tubing that I took off the trusses, besides being thicker, which is what I want, but I meant this way thicker, because this is the distance I need to box in the back of the bus. But it comes out about that far, which doesn't make it worse. So when the rain lets up and I can dismantle the rest of those trusses out there, I just may have enough to do and box in the back of the bus. I will use that pattern I still have in place, and I will take these square tubing, because as you see this one has to be straightened anyways, but I will take the off of the other trusses out there, off of those other trusses out there, and hopefully be able to box in my backside and make that solid again. But so far, this is how it's looking. I got that piece on the floor, going across. Of course, I will have to pull it up, put seals underneath it, put it back down, cut in the door frame. But, you know, I'm just getting an eyeball, checking it out, you know, figuring out how I want it to be. I do believe with the material I have like this, I should be able to come up the sides with it and then have a piece across the top here where I can actually come in on an angle with this other stock that they have in the ends, that stuff, which is what they were tying them together with. They were taking pieces like this in between two pieces. That slides in, you know, that slides in there, locks it in. Another piece comes on here. You know, another piece comes on here, up. Screw it together. That all locks it together as one piece. And the good thing is you can go on angles, inside angles, outside angles. However you need it, you can put it. So for my bottom corners, I will take small pieces like this, put them in, screw from the side, screw to the next piece coming up, and I'm going to use this as the perimeter of the wall all the way up. You know, I can do smaller pieces in the arches, or I can just do one piece here to here, another small piece there, and I can attach them all with small pieces like that. Then I can come through and stud it with metal pieces here, put my studs in, my door frame, wherever the door frame is going to be, notch it out, and this is kind of my idea. Just like I have this here, something of this nature will be recessed into the floor at this edge. So that'll be like that, sank down into the floor with, of course, drain holes in it. Or I'll pitch it on an angle so the water either runs off towards the outside of the bus there, or it'll all run to the center now. But my outer wall here will go down into, let me get a better angle here. My outer wall will come down and set inside the drain. So any water coming in from the back of the bus hits this wall, will just go straight down into the drain. Nothing gets under this and under my floor. You know, even the threshold for the door, once, you know, it's cut out for this, will overlap the drain. You know, and I'll put a grate or something over it, or it may be narrow enough I don't have to worry about it. But I'm pretty sure a small grate over top of it, so, you know, things don't fall in it, get stuck, plug the drain. So that seems to be coming together quite well. I'm not putting my jacket back on. This thing weighs about 10 extra pounds full of water. I'm going to go in and get a warm jacket on. I was running the heaters, and being in here with the heater on ain't really terribly bad. But the rain has lit up a little bit. So I'm going to put another jacket on and my water boots so I can tear apart the rest of that truss and get more material inside the bus here so I can continue to work. Okay, here's kind of the route I'm going with it. You put a block in there. These aren't screwed together, they're just wedged together for now, just to see it, test fit, see how everything goes. Bring the side pillars up. There is a flat area on both sides up in here, and I'm going to measure that flat spot, cut a single piece for each side to fit that flat spot, and then attach that to that with a small angle brace. And that should give us enough support with the materials I'm using, because I will use those solid rectangular pieces down there as my corner supports, just as I did down here. And I will also do the same thing wherever the door is going to be. When I cut the door jamb out, I will have, you know, inside corner supports, top and bottom. And then, of course, the cross brace across the top of the door. Then we'll stud it in. And once we get the back on it, we should be able to insulate it very well. One thing I will have to contend with doing this method is that and these side runners. Now, I heard somebody else on YouTube say that this little piece right here is structural. So I'm trying not to cut into it. Now, if I notch this out for this to sit in there and then put a groove in this to slide over top of that, that may work, and then I could actually spot weld that in place on both sides and maybe create a liquid barrier, you know. And then, you know, when I put the siding on this back side over here, whatever's going to separate this garage area from here, I can seal that. So that is how far it's coming. I will see you in a minute. Alright, it's getting dark. I'm going to do my quick wrap-up video here. This is what we got going on. Let me see. Let me switch this around real quick. There is the arch to the ceiling, and it fits great. Have to, you know, I'm probably going to see if you see these here in the dark. I'm going to trim them down to where they're flush again, and then I will spot weld, you know, them back together in this arch before I, you know, do every 1 foot I created a notch, and it fits up there perfectly. It comes all the way over here to the line, so I'll have from the line to the pillar to put my angle braces in, and I will work on that tomorrow. So that is going to be, and man, it sits up with the way this stuff right here is built. Should I turn this piece over? That groove right there, that groove sits right along the rivet line. So it can't be more perfect. I'll have to get some short self-tappers. And once I get that welded up in a one solid piece and put a couple small self-tappers in it, I will figure out what I'm going to do with these side pillars and go from there. So there you have it, folks. That's what my day ended up being. I am quite pleased with the progress. Like I said, sorry about the lighting. It's getting dark. Sun's going down. And pretty soon I won't be able to see in here. So if you like today's content, hit that like, subscribe, and share. Leave me comments down below. And whatever you guys are doing out there, be safe, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.